I'm Nikki Jourdain.
And I'm Cheryl.
And this is Killers, Cults and Queens.
The spooky sleepover.
Hello and welcome to Killers, Cults and Queens. It's time for the spooky sleepover.
Yes, indeed. It's our weekly chat show where we catch up on the week's antics and discuss our rabbit holes of the week.
But first, Carmen Sandiego, where in the world are you?
Well, Nikki Jourdain, I've been around the world and I don't know where I am. No, I am up north somewhere right now, live on location still, but I am alive and well and here to report that we have hit the halfway mark of this tour. Finally. I'm very vocally tired, but physically, I'm doing all right. More importantly, how are you, Nikki Jourdain?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I had my wedding party on Friday, so that's now all the wedding shenanigans done and dusted. And I went to Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds immersive experience. Judith wasn't there this time. I really wish she would have been, but she was there in spirit because there was still plenty of shouting for Judith because everybody knows about Judith now, so that's how it goes. But we had a wonderful time. It was so fun, and it was just a little intimate group of us all together. Put a photo on the Instagram stories of us celebrating because we had a wonderful time. But my wedding dress decided to rip that evening, and I'm annoyed because it's a brand new dress. So if anybody knows about seamstress stuff or is a great seamstress and wants to be able to repair a dress, let me know because I'm in the market for it. I've got some rips by my buttons, and it's not through something that I've done from what I can tell. Just looks like the fabric is sheared, so it doesn't. I don't think it was seamed properly in the first place. So yeah, if anybody knows how to fix fabric shearing, let me know.
Well, you're speaking to the wrong person here on this podcast today because we know I'm definitely not a seamstress. But I am absolutely gutted I couldn't make it. I mean, I was in rugby. I was doing a show. I couldn't make it there, but we will have another Judith experience in the future. But I have a question to ask of you.
Fire away.
Now, we on this tour have been indulging just to make ourselves feel better, feel like we've got something to look forward to after a show, and we have a snack bag on this tour. Now, I have been intrigued by everybody's picks to go in the snack bag. What would be your top 3 things to have on a tour bus?
It's going to have to be some Pringles. I do love me a Pringle. I've got back into Pringles recently.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
I think Pringles have changed. I don't think they're the same as they used to be. I used to love a ready salted Pringle, and I don't think they're the same anymore. But I do love a Pringle. I love a pretzel as well, a little salty pretzel. But I like those flips, you know, the chocolate covered pretzels. Those are great. Absolutely delicious. And probably a Crunchy.
A Crunchy, top tier chocolate. How do you feel about a Crunchy Rock?
A Crunchy Rock?
Yes, in the bags, the share
What's
bag.
That?
So it's
the share bags. Yes, I know the ones. Nah, can't be bothered with that. I want a proper Crunchy.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, so we have been sampling a lot of different delicacies, but the loyal listeners will know back in the heyday, our Shezzy was Tony's Chocolonely obsessed, and I went into a big Asda, but I'm talking huge, cafe and all, and I was walking up and down every aisle, just having a fabulous peruse, and I come across the clearance section, and what do I find? 27 bars of the Everything Tony's Chocolonely bar, and I was gobsmacked.
That is your absolute favourite. I'm surprised you didn't snap them all up. Did you not buy them all?
I mean, I was tempted to buy them all, Nikki Jourdain, but I did check the expiry and they were going out of date in 2 weeks. So I could not for the life of me warrant 27 bars of chocolate in 2 weeks.
It's chocolate. It doesn't go out of date. It's fine.
I'm sure it does.
Meat and stuff like that, no. But things like chocolate, crisps, etc., when I know that it's going to be fine because it's lived on a shelf for a year, I'm going to eat it 2 weeks past its sell-by date. I don't care.
Well, I did snap up 4 bars and we did a taste testing on the bus, and page 3 could not believe the flavours that were taking her tongue. Oh, that sounds horrible. But we thoroughly enjoyed it on our very long drive from Rugby to Southport. And let's just say, I think I've converted these divas to the dark side.
If you love it, they're going to love it too. And I do like it, but it's not my favourite. I would say I'd be opting for the crunchy, I'm afraid. So you'd be safe. You could buy it all and have it to yourself.
Well, Tony's, if you're listening, I will take all the chocolate only. But on the good side always comes the bad side. And we've discovered that we have had to put some banned food on our bus list. Are you ready for what's on the banned list?
Well, I can imagine probably fish is on there, isn't it?
Yes, big time.
No tuna fish sandwiches in the back of the bus, thanks.
Nikki, you've hit the nail on the head. Tuna mayonnaise sandwiches are absolutely banned from the bus. Fridge raiders, banned.
Oh, very stinky. Yes, I hadn't thought of that.
Horrendous. We had one of the dancers open a packet and the door for the van was still open and we went, no, out, get out. Too much. But we're debating whether to allow hot food or not on the bus.
Because it depends what it is, isn't it? If you came on board with a nice, delicious hot curry, I don't think that's going to make the bus smell particularly nice in a few days' time. So anything that's going to linger, I think would be a bad thing. And sometimes particular burgers do linger for a bit. You know, a McDonald's Big Mac, a flame grilled Whopper from Burger King, that sort of thing. They do linger a bit, and particularly if you've got onions as well. Onions can be a bit stinky, and then it smells a bit like BO as well. So it's working it out, isn't it? I reckon a ham and cheese panini, you'd be fine. But
100%. We've frequented many a Costa for a panini.
A Gregory's sausage roll, probably fine. But anything that's a bit more involved, maybe not.
Well, if in doubt, leave your jalfrezi in the hotel.
I think that's a very sensible option. So now it's time for our extra segment, AITA, which, can we remember what that stands for?
Am I the arsehole?
Exactly. So it's where we take a post from the Reddit thread and play judge, jury, and executioner. But in this case, the execution is just being branded an arsehole. So this is exclusive for our Patreon listeners. So if you want to listen to this extra segment, then make sure you sign up over there. You'll get these extra posts, early and ad-free episodes, and a whole lot more. So if you're joining us on Patreon, let's jump in. And if you're not, we'll be skipping ahead.
Okay, it's time for our rabbit holes of the week. Now, Nikki Drews, what have you been lost down this week?
Well, I have something a little bit weird this week for you.
Ooh.
Not trauma, it's not treat, just a bit weird.
Okay, I'm hooked. Reel me in.
Okay, so this one sounds like complete nonsense, but it's one of the best documented time slip stories ever recorded. So, Cheryl, can you have a guess at what a time slip might be? Any ideas?
I want to say it's like when someone forgets to log something and things go missing, but I'm sure I'm completely wrong.
It's a good theory because it sounds like something where you have forgotten to note something down, but it's more to do with time travel. But
stop it.
So it's 1901. Two very sensible English women, not a spooky specialist and a detective diva like you and me, but two academics are on holiday in Paris. We beget. Their names are Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain.
Fabulous names.
I know, beautiful, aren't they? And these are very serious ladies. They're both very well educated, and one was literally a headmistress. They're on holiday in France, visiting the gorgeous Versailles, just having a normal touristy day out. And they decide to wander through the gardens to find the Petit Trianon, Marie Antoinette's little countryside escape cottage. And this is where things get weird. Now, both women documented that as they began to stroll on, things began to feel strange, like a stillness had overtaken the air. They said the birds stopped singing and they couldn't even hear the breeze rustling in the leaves. Just complete silenced.
Ooh.
But then things get weirder. They see people a distance away from them, but they're not like them. They're dressed in old-fashioned clothing, fancy dresses and tricorn hats. The sort of clothes you only see in museums. But these weren't people dressing up. After all, this was a time before movies, so this would have been very strange indeed. The two women later said the clothes just looked like everyone's normal clothes, but just from like 200 years before they were even born. They looked positively futuristic next to them.
Oh.
Then it gets worse. They pass buildings and pathways that don't exist on the maps that they have with them.
What?
And then one of them spots a woman sitting on the grass, sketching in a little book. She's wearing a pale dress and a big hat. It was Marie Antoinette, but they didn't know it at this point. It was only afterwards, when they went away and they looked at portraits of her, that they realised this was the woman who was sat in the grass in the pale dress, sketching away in her big hat.
Oh my God.
Now, do I think they literally bumped into the dead Queen of France? Probably not.
I mean, what is in those baguettes?
But after both experiencing this, they knew how important it was not to talk to each other about the experience straight away. And they both went in opposite directions and wrote their accounts independently of each other so as to make sure they weren't making each other remember false memories. So, years later, they publish a book called An Adventure. They first published this under pen names, but they later claimed the work with their own names. And the general message of the book was, so either we hallucinated together or we accidentally walked into 1789 somehow. And when this was published, the public lost their minds.
I'm not surprised.
Some people said, oh, this is definitely proof of time travel. And others said, ladies, I think you just got lost on those maps.
Poor divas. They can't even catch a break. They're just like, we saw Marie Antoinette. And they're like, nah, you're drugged up, babes.
And historians suggested that maybe there'd been a historical reenactment that day, which does seem like the most sensible option. Except when they looked into the records, there hadn't been one scheduled for that day.
Damn.
So psychologists think it could have been a shared suggestion or memory distortion, which is also quite a sensible option. But still, why would they go to these lengths to make up this story? After all, these were academic women, and it was a time before something like this could make you go viral on TikTok. So what's the idea behind what really could have happened? Well, some people think this was genuine time travel. Some people thought it was a time slip, so effectively just jumping elsewhere for 5 minutes before being plonked back on your own timeline. And others think that these two otherwise clever women got tangled up in a dress-up day, but had gone too far along with their story that they couldn't back out. So with time travel being possible, that leaves me one question for you, Shez. If you could go to a different timeline for just 5 minutes, where would you choose? So with time travel being possible, that leaves me one question for you, Shez. If you could go to a different timeline for just 5 minutes, where would you choose?
I would go to Buckingham Palace on the day of Charles and Diana's wedding, and I would be in the drawing room just before they stepped out on the balcony to see if they did actually have an argument on that day.
Oh, beautiful thought. I bet they did.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I bet they definitely did. And if you were the fly on the wall, you'd come back and tell me, wouldn't you?
Oh, Nikki Drews, there's things that I've not even told my own mother and I've told you.
You'd be like, hang on, I've got a rabbit hole this week.
Guess what, everyone?
Well, I think I would go to find out what happened to the Marie Celeste.
The what?
The Marie Celeste.
What's the Celeste?
The Marie Celeste is a ship that went missing, and nobody knows what happened to the crew on board. They just found the ship, and it was bobbing about in the ocean, and there were no crew on board, and the meals were half eaten. Everything had been completely abandoned, and nobody knows what happened to the people. So I would love to know what happened to them.
Okay, you're saving that. That's your rabbit hole for next week because I need to know more about the Celeste.
Well, I might have put it down as a full episode, so could be happening sometime soon.
I can't wait.
But that's been my rabbit hole for this week. So I've been time traveling all over the place. So what have you got for me this week, Shez?
Well, it's the start of the year, which means one thing for United States of America. It is the Super Bowl.
The Superbowl!
The Super Bowl. And one thing in particular that gets me more excited than anything is the halftime show. Now,
Yes.
Mr. Bad Bunny, the sexy, gorgeous diva that he is, turned it out. We had special appearances from Miss Lady Gaga and Mr. Ricky Martin. But I have been lost down a rabbit hole of performance after performance after performance. But in doing so, watching the 2012 Madonna Super Bowl, we had a little cameo from Redacted and MIA, which I didn't realise ended up in a lawsuit.
Did it? How come?
So during the 2012 performance, Madonna was joined on stage by MIA, and she was a feature in her latest single, Give Me All Your Lovin'. Now, during her lyrics, she gets cut off when she says, I don't give a So she decided to flip the finger in the middle of the performance. It only lasted a second, but because it aired live to over 100 million viewers, the fallout was immediate. Now, you have to remember, back in 2004, we had the Janet Jackson scandal with the boob and the nip slip. So the NFL were not taking any prisoners. The initial demand that they asked of MIA was $1.5 million in claims.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's not it. It escalated to a further $16.6 million as they argued that there was damage to the league's reputation, lost goodwill, and additional production and promotional costs. And it became more about a gesture of reputational harm than it was anything else. Now, this ended up going on until 2018 when it was quietly settled confidentially in the courts. Now, the final figure wasn't disclosed anywhere, but I think it is looking like the higher end of that 16.6 million.
Oh, that's a sting, isn't it, for one little swear on TV?
I mean, it'll make you think twice about flipping the bird, won't it?
Yeah, it just wouldn't happen over here, though, would it? Just the rules are so strict in America, and we wouldn't care. I think there'd be a couple of grumbles, but we'd get over it pretty quickly. Brits are good swearers, aren't we? So I think we just don't really give a shit.
Exactly.
To put it politely.
You can fucking say that again.
Bloody hell. But it boggles my mind that something like that, where it is literally somebody holding up a finger, can cause that much offence, because I don't care about it. It doesn't bother me at all. So
No.
I can't relate to how somebody could be super offended by it.
Hey, I'm sure some Brenda on Ofcom will be complaining somewhere, but at the end of the day, we are who we are, and I don't give a fuck. Well, that's all for now, divas.
Remember, you can get in touch on Instagram at Killers Cults Queens, and come and see us over on YouTube at Killers Cults Queens, where we're now publishing our episodes in video format every week, and you can now watch our episodes on Spotify too. And do come to YouTube, because we're almost very, very, very nearly at 1,000 subscribers, so we'd love you to come and subscribe.
And if you want to get your hands on our episodes ad-free and a day early, then make sure you join us over on Patreon at patreon.com/Killers Cults Queens.
And if you've got a bit more to say, don't forget to join in the conversation in our Spotify and YouTube comments too. We really do read every single one.
Whilst you're there, we would love if you would be able to give us a 5-star review or a thumbs up. It really does make a difference.
See you next time, and don't be a killer or join a cult.
Just don't give a fuck and be a queen. Goodbye.
I'm flipping the bird. We can't see it on a podcast. Goodbye.